talk Buffalo Bills, not a lot to talk about, but the OTAs have begun, and Josh Allen's coming out saying all the right things about his wide receiver core.
Well, I mean, look, he always says all the right things. And look, to be fair, Josh Allen also always does the right things.
Yeah.
It all comes down to how the games and the seasons end up finishing. I will say this. I am a sucker for guys in shorts with no pads on running routes and catching footballs. Because every year when OTAs and minicamp start, I'm all like, we got time. And then I start seeing highlights of Josh zipping the ball into some receiver that he didn't have last year, which is all of them pretty much this year. And I must have watched a 3-minute clip over and over and over again. Keon Coleman and Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Chase Claypool and all these guys. Look at him go.
Logic tells you it's not going to work. I mean, the way they got him, where they drafted Coleman, and the fact, and I sort of dismissed last week, you suggested that Valdes-Scantling might be the number one. That might actually happen.
Well, I mean, listen, you still have two solid tight ends. I mean, there's no reason to worry there. But the question is, over an 18-game season, who is going to emerge as that number one receiver in a clutch moment? That's yet to be determined. Let Josh handle that out. I will say this, though. Josh has been busy. I mean, that promotional video I saw of him at the construction site, that is pretty smart marketing right there if you have anything. And oh, by the way, the celebrity softball game. There's not a lot to talk here yet because there really hasn't been a huge transaction that makes you feel great, even about OTAs.
And there won't be a transaction, right? Like, what we have is what we see. And I don't know if there is a number one receiver this year. Maybe it's number one receiver by committee because, look, last year, the number one receiver for the Buffalo Bills didn't eclipse 100 yards in 7 weeks and had one touchdown over the last however. I mean, I think that the point that Tariq made, Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox are going to play a much bigger role than we anticipated when the offseason started.
They can reinvent that. I'm just finishing the book Dynasty, and a lot of the Patriots' success was based when they had Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski. They've reinvented offense and were extremely effective. Nobody else has been able to duplicate that formula. Maybe Buffalo's the team that does it.
The dangerous thing to do with these receivers, and you know what a diehard Bills fan I am, is to anticipate they're going to keep taking steps forward. Because if Shakir stays where he is, he's a really good third NFL receiver, which is something you need on your roster. The anticipation for Gabe Davis was he was going to take that monster step forward to be one of the best second receivers in the league. And he was the third guy the entire time. Mm-hmm. I need Shakir to show me that before I'm ready to put that responsibility in his lap.
But one thing Gabe Davis did do, he would give you 1 week where you're just like, this is the number one receiver in football. And then he would go 5 weeks without seeing that guy.
He's a guy where he would have 3 touchdowns on 190 yards, and then for the next 2 weeks have 2 catches for 17, and it made 0 sense.
I think you still have to frame this too. I think Brandon Beane has one eye on 2024 and the other one on 2025. This team could really be. Tim Graham broke it down. I felt all along that 2025 is kind of the goal here. He broke it down in terms of where the salary cap is headed and the contracts they've got. He said they could be in really, really good shape the next offseason.
Smart move here. Try to find these young wide receivers you can get on these rookie deals, a couple of veterans to plug it in. You know Allen's going to soak up a lot of money over the next couple of years.
And look, the bottom line is this. If you give Josh the opportunity to make these guys stars and it works, all that money you have, that's in your defense now. Go win a championship.